On this episode, the WSUD Map. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ideanthro. Now if you watched episode 62, you would have seen me talking about where you can find some stormwater treatment wetlands to visit in southeast Queensland. And that's cool. We were really happy to do that. We think it's really important that people get out on site and look at things, because there's stuff that you can learn when you're out on site looking at water sensitive urban design, stormwater management, waterway health features. There's some stuff that you can learn while out on site that you can't learn from a book, you can't learn even from a video, you just have to get out there and explore. But there's a problem with that, right? Because we want to share these sites more than we have so far, more than we did in episode 62. But there's a problem with that because it's not really scalable, right? Because the world's a big place, there are lots of different types of stormwater treatment systems, there are lots of spots they could be, there are things related to water sensitive urban design that aren't stormwater treatment systems, there's lots of that. And so it's just not really scalable for us to make videos about it. So we have a solution, the WSUD Map. Now this isn't anything particularly spectacular. This is simply a Google map where we have started to throw in all the water sensitive urban design features that we can think of so that you can go and visit them. So where can you find it? Before I forget to tell you in this video, it's really simple. www.ideanthro.com/the-WSUD-map. We'll put that on the screen. So what's the map all about? Well, look, we have started initially by populating it with a whole bunch of stormwater treatment assets that we know about. There's probably a couple of hundred in there already, and they're focused, look, mainly around southeast Queensland, but also around the other cities in Australia, and a few little teasers from our trip recently to Europe. And we've started putting those in there just to give you the opportunity. So say that, look, here's the thing. If you want to get out and visit these assets, you need to make time to do it, and you need to be able to fit it into your everyday life. So for example, one way you could use the map would be just like, okay, I want to go and look at these assets, pull up the map. Oh, okay, there's a few interesting, there's a few things there. Let's make a little route, go and visit them. Sweet. Another way is, okay, day-to-day work, you're already making a trip somewhere. So you work on the Gold Coast, but you're having to, for example, maybe having to head up to Brisbane for the day for a meeting. Okay, pull up the map. I'm already driving this way. What's nearby to where I'm driving that I haven't visited before? Sweet, let's go and have a look at that. Or even better, you're going out for a day with the family, you're going out to the park, you look up the map, what's near the park? Oh, there's a stormwater treatment system. Forget the park, let's take the family to the stormwater treatment. You think I'm joking, right? Anyway, that's how we intend this to be used, as a resource to quickly and easily find stuff, so you can visit more stuff than you have before without having to spend heaps of time doing it. So what does this map look like? Well, let me show you. Here we have it. It's really simple. As we said, it's a Google map where we have dropped a whole bunch of different points onto this map. You can see them, they're color coded for different types of things that we've put in there. If you were to zoom out, you will find a couple of things in the Netherlands as well. And if you click like so, it opens up the side menu. You can see the different types of systems that we have in there. Now, so each of these red ticks here is a layer. You can toggle them on and off. If I toggle the bioretention one off, a lot of stuff disappears. You can toggle them on and off. And Google Maps, these My Maps, have a limitation to the number of layers, so we've had to group a few things together. So the top layer there is actually bioretention systems and sand filters. Then we have wetlands and floating wetlands, and so on and so forth down the map. At the moment, it's quite stormwater treatment system focused, but in the not too distant future, we will be adding at least one more layer, which just has WSUD-ish areas or developments. So for example, Southport Broadwater Parklands on the Gold Coast has a lot of elements that could be considered water sensitive all in one place. We're going to create a layer to draw polygons on where you can see this whole area, and it says there are many water sensitive things to go look at here. Same thing might apply to a development like Coomera Waters. The entire development has elements of being water sensitive in it, so just dropping like pins onto treatment systems doesn't quite do it, so we're going to have this opportunity to kind of draw in polygons there to signify those. But that's not quite there yet, we'll do that in the future. So what does it look like at the moment? Well, let's say, for example, whoops, I toggled off the bioretention. What you can do is you can click down this arrow and it opens up all of the different things that we've put in, different systems underneath any particular layer. So this is the bioretention layer. I wonder what bioretention 21 is. That's actually not a bad example. So let's go. Oops, I've lost it. Anyway, let's do some zooming in. We'll just pick a random system here. What are we going to go for? Okay, not entirely random. Let's actually go for this one. So you might zoom in, find this particular system here. And when you click on it, what you see pops up is, when we've had the opportunity, we've added a photo or two of the system. There is kind of an identifier for it, which will keep consistent through the future. The type, and then when we have some information, a brief description of it. So in this case, this system, I focused in on this one because I knew it had a description. Not all of them do. In this case, it was a bioretention system on Streisand Drive, built by Brisbane City Council. And I happen to know that if you Google Streisand Drive bioretention system, you should actually get some results from that. So that's kind of what we're doing with the description tab here. And then finally, we have an access tab. And that's either gives you, a yes or a no for whether you can access it. And by that we mean whether you can access it relatively easily and relatively legally. Because there are some assets in here that are on private property. There are some assets that are maybe hard to get to. So we are trying to flag that. But this is a really good segue. So we've got this useful information here, and I'm well and truly aware that we are encouraging you to get out into the real world and look at stuff in the real world. You know, the scary real world, the real world that wants to kill you. And so it's worth saying, look, by all means go out and do stuff. We are proud to be encouraging you to get out and look at this stuff, but just take some care, use some common sense, right? You're going out on site, it's your responsibility to keep yourself safe and to keep yourself legal. So keep your eyes peeled, only go places that you're comfortable, and it'll all be sweet. On the legal side of things, so private systems. There are some things that are on private property. Don't go onto private property. If you don't have permission to go there, don't go there. You're not playing Pokemon Go. I don't want anyone wandering onto any Indonesian military bases. But besides this, besides the keeping yourself safe and keeping yourself legal, go for it, but it's your responsibility. Okay, back to the more fun. So, the map's cool at the moment, right? It's got a couple of hundred things in it to look at, but we want it to be more than that. And there's one serious limitation to it at the moment, which is it only has, with the exception of one asset added by Ben, it only has assets that I've added. And that's a real limitation. If for no other reason than selfishly, I want some more things to go and look at myself. So we also have the ability here for you to edit the map. It's really simple. If you have some systems that you know about that aren't listed in the map, or in fact, if you know something about the systems in this map that isn't already listed in it, so say you've got a photo that isn't shown already, or you know something about its history that should be in the description, you can get access to edit the map. All you have to do is email me at jack.mullally@ideanthro.com. You can also find a form on the WSUD Map page, the link of which I gave you before. Send us an email and just go, oi, I've got something I want to add to the map, and I'll give you editing rights to it. We could have set the map up to be just editable by anyone publicly, and it was tempting to do that, but we're trying to be a little bit consistent with some of the method in which we add stuff. So we've kept it so that you have to request permission to edit, if for no other reason than when you do, I'm going to send you a few details about how to just keep the nomenclature in the map consistent so that it's easiest to use in the future. But please don't take this as we want to hold this close and it's our map to build. It's everyone's to build. I just need to make sure that we point you in the right direction when you come to start adding assets to it. And that's the WSUD Map. I hope you find this interesting. Before we go, actually, there's a recognition that we need to do here. So after episode 62, where we showed you where all those wetlands were, I had a conversation with Steve Turfrey, and Steve had some really good ideas. He watched that and was like, hey, there's a few things you could do here. Out of that conversation is where this idea for the WSUD Map has come. So I just want to say thank you to Steve for that idea. He had some other ideas that were beyond this, and maybe they'll get done in the future. But they were much bigger than this quick idea. But nonetheless, thank you, Steve, for that conversation that has led to me making this. Okay, that's it. That's this introduction to the WSUD Map. I encourage you to check it out at ideanthro.com/the-WSUD-map. Have a look, find some assets, go visit them, send me an email if you want to contribute. And I think we can do something cool with this. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this is useful. I'm super excited to be releasing it. But for now, have fun. We'll see you soon.